If you've been on our webinars before, you'll know that I'm just the fluff at the beginning. I'm Lisa, I'm just the fluff at the beginning. And my job is to get you guys ready for the main event. Yeah. So I'm like, you go to a comedy or you go to a gig and you got the people at the beginning that if it's like a big arena, only about 30% of the people show up for that first hour. That's me. One day we'll run a webinar, guys, and the roles will be reversed. What do you think? Nobody's agreeing with me. Let's move on. Right. Some of you have met the three of us before. Some of you are being trained by these lovely two people in the green square, in the green circles, you lucky buggers. We do three things, as I always talk about: training, Bullhorn first journeys to make sure you're using Bullhorn first, and automation to turbo your business. It's very exciting. Talked about it. We're great coaches. We love training recruiters as well. And we also do a lot of build work when we work with automation clients, because they go, we know what we need, but we just don't have time to do it. It's a bit like I need an extension on my house. I know what I need, but I don't have time to do it. Get the specialists in. We'll do that for you. Nice stuff. Gets things done a bit quick as well. We've obviously got Recruitment Hit, and some of our hit clients are on the call today. And if you've not tried Recruitment Hit, you're missing a trick. Yeah. It's really good, and it's about to get even better because we're changing the shape and size of it in the next 4 to 6 weeks. I'm so excited. But we've got a lot of really good content on there. Bullhorn training, recruitment training. Matt and I are currently working on a temp training course. I'm working with someone else in the team at the moment on Microsoft Teams training. We've already got a Teams course, but Teams have changed things recently. There's some really new cool stuff in there that helps you screen and sell more effectively, as well as LinkedIn and all sorts of other stuff that you'll see flashing on your screens. So if you've not trialed Hit yet, where have you been? It's free. Yeah, get on it. I'll keep nagging you until you do. We've obviously got some more webinars. We're at a good cadence now. Yeah, so monthly Bullhorn first tips and monthly automation tips. So next week's automation ROI, what's in it for me, is a week today, literally a week from now. Some of you will be going, God, that went quick, on the next webinar. And our next month, April, keep having to think because it's March now, is all about management tips for candidates, or rather managing those candidates, stopping them from dropping out, stopping them from accepting counter offers, creating a very wholesome, beautiful swan-like experience so you make more money. That's ultimately what's in it for me at the end of the day. So you make more money, you make more placements, you get stuff done with as little disruption as possible, because right now the last thing any of you need is any more disruption. So this is my dig up stupid model. Some of you that have worked with me before know what I mean by that. Some of you have even watched the episode of The Simpsons where I found that and referenced it at just a moment in time that I remember about 1 million years ago. But evidently what we do find with recruiters is that they are often digging, and they go past the stuff that actually was what they were looking for. That's why it's called dig up stupid. Or they might even dig out, and they're so fixated on future data, they're looking absolutely everywhere for stuff, as opposed to that green space. Potentially they've not got automation switched on, keeping it clean or nurtured. Call us about that, please, we'll help you. And also maybe they've got too many systems, not enough process, and they've got a load of sticky crap at the bottom, and they're getting stuck in it. And we don't like that. We like you to sort of stick your pin in the green area, but keep it clean. And maybe your marketing department will get those dirty dormants out and stick them in the green area as well. But often recruiters are stuck in the mud at the bottom, or they're out in outer space looking for stuff that they've already got. And the market has never changed in that respect, but I'd like it to. So some stats to sort of set the tone is, we know that you're wasting time as an industry. We know this because every client we speak to tells us this. Even a client that started using Recruitment Hit with us on Wednesday this week said around 60 to 70% of the candidates they placed last year they already had, but they spent a crazy amount of time and money advertising for them, but they already had them. And then some of those clients might even go, not going to buy automation because it's expensive. And I'll go, do you know what's really expensive? Finding candidates that you've already got, using LinkedIn and job boards and spending tens of thousands of pounds a year collecting stuff that you've already got. And also the time it takes to do that. You're limiting your sales because you're not sourcing from Bullhorn first. And that takes longer when you're not sourcing from Bullhorn first. And that costs you money. Again, it's a double whammy. It's taking longer and it's costing you more. And again, some of you might go, nah, automation is expensive. I say, do you know what's expensive? Not having automation. That's really expensive. I'm not here to sell you automation, but the concept of it for me is it's not if, it's when. Yeah, so that's something to think about. And also we know that people spend way too much time sourcing, and you'll see these stats all over the place, because we are very passionate about who the hell wants to do that 13 hours a week. Yeah, and that 13 hours that you're taking from your 35 to 40 hour week sourcing, 12 hours of that could be reinvested back in the process and placing more flipping jobs, speaking to more candidates, managing your life cycle. But still, we are fixated on advertising and sourcing from external sources, when actually 50% of the people that come from those sources are actually no good for you. So you're spending time and money looking for stuff that you've already got, but 50% of the stuff that is actually coming at you, you don't even need. Doesn't make sense. So make it stop is what I say. 2024 is the year to do that. So I want you to be thinking, while Rose and Matt are showing you some stuff today, about how much more productive you could be. If you're not sure if your business has got automation, ask them. If they have, find out how it's going to help you source more effectively. If they don't have it, take a moment to think. Think about your life cycle. Think about your recruitment life cycle. If you can improve your sourcing processes and speed, where could you inject that time? What part of the life cycle might be a bit rickety at the moment? And if only you had the time to make it better. Could you reduce the amount of counter offers that are accepted because you weren't managing the process hard enough? Could you improve your CV to interview ratios so that you need to send out less CVs? Get the client over the line quicker? Could you consult more effectively rather than simply administrate your role? Could you screen harder so you screen out as well as screening in? Could you be listening for more red flags? Could you be interrogating that screened candidate for more job opportunities? Because clever recruiters do that. Could you be securing your placement more effectively? Because what you're saying is, well, actually, yeah, I've made a placement, but I ain't going to let go just yet. I need to stay in control. Oh, and while I'm at it, those silver medal candidates, they need placing. I'm not just going to let them rot and get another recruiter to make money from the back of my hard work. I've woken that candidate up. I'm going to follow the candidate until I can get them a job. That's what some of our clients do, and they make a lot of money. But those of you that are spending too much time sourcing will not have the luxury of doing those processes. So those things are very important. Oh, and not to forget BD and account management. Quite important. So I'm going to turn off my camera and my sound and just be in the background clicking like Kermit the Frog, and I'll hand you over to these lovely creatures who are going to give you some tips today. And you might know some of them. I'd kind of expect you to, because if you've been using Bullhorn, you're going to know some of this. If all that happens is it reminds you what you already know, you straighten your spine, you just get on with it, or it shows you a better way of doing something, or you just get one tip, we'll accept full credit for that. And equally, I'm really happy to hear from you outside of this webinar if there's anything you think we could have added. For obvious reasons, for us, every day is a learning day. Right, good luck, Matt and Rose. I'll hand over to you.
Thank you very much, Lise. So in terms of candidate shortage, there's 3 areas we want to look at. First of all is your previous pipeline, because if you've already done the hard work, you want to make the most of that, not just let it fall by the wayside. Then we've got a couple of sourcing tips for you. And finally, we're going to talk about how to create some candidates that actually you didn't even realize were there. So our tips then we're going to look at is silver medalist. Lisa's already mentioned it, and it's one of our favorites. Then we're going to look at some of your older candidates and your previous placements.
So we've got advanced note searching, then we've got the searching within hot lists. We're then going to look at some searching by skills. I'll finish off for you, Matt. You just disappeared for a second.
Thanks, Rose.
Then we've got thinking about clients to candidates and vice versa. And then we've got temp or perm.
So looking at your previous pipeline, first of all, then. The first tip we're going to look at is your silver medalist, because you want to work with candidates that are ready to interview. You've already done the hard work. Why do you want to double up on it? So you go on to the next slide for us, please, Liz. Now, your silver medalists, these are the people that when you've got a placement or when you've got a job on, you might put forward 3, 4, 5, maybe even 10 people. And, you know, half of them get interviewed, but there's only one job. Those other people that interviewed, they're still really good candidates, and you've done all the hard work with them. You've got them ready. You've got them prepared. You know they're looking for a job. Why would you just let them go? Try, you know, keep working on them, keep focusing on them, and find them a role. And you can do that in your shortlist list by searching by status.
Lovely. And our second tip then is considering older candidates. So those that maybe you interviewed maybe a few years ago, maybe they were too junior for that particular position or the position that you're recruiting for at that time or at this time. But now actually consider those candidates, because maybe, you know, 2 or 3 years ago when you added them, then now they've progressed in their career. So maybe think about looking for more junior job titles, as we are doing here within the candidate list, filtering on when the date was added, and then doing some searches for those candidates, because maybe now they've moved and progressed and are in the position that you want to recruit for. Excellent. Thanks, Lisa.
So finally, looking at your previous placements. Now, if you've got good candidates, you know they're good because you've placed them, why wouldn't you want to work with them again? I think it's on average, if I remember rightly, people get a new job roughly every 36 months. So again, by going into your placement list in Bullhorn, you can see those people who were perhaps placed a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, depending on your industry and how quick the turnover is, to actually find those candidates that you might have placed, you know they're good, and now they're hopefully even better. And you can place them all over again and become a lifelong recruitment partner for them. Sourcing tips then.
Fabulous.
Sorry,
Thank you. It's all right. So one of my favourite tips within Bullhorn, and if you don't have this turned on, because some people don't, believe it or not, but it's called advanced note searching. So really, really good for looking at if you've added notes for a certain time frame, or actually candidates that don't have a note within a certain time frame. You can also search within the note for keywords as well. So hopefully that will really help you source and find those hidden gems that are in here. So if we go looking at this click through, if we go into the search area, if you haven't got advanced note searching, you won't see what we've got down at the bottom there. So if you haven't, speak to whoever your Bullhorn admin is and get them to speak to Bullhorn, because they should just add it for you and away you go. And we can see in the background, we're looking for candidates who have previously had a pre-screen by Matt. So he's looking at his candidate pool, and then he's going to go in and he's actually going to look within a certain time frame. So candidates may be pre-screened 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever it might be. And then potentially you can even couple that with comments. So you can go within the actual note itself to maybe search for those key skills that you're trying to recruit for now.
And then, of course, you've got your searching within your hot list and tear sheet. So hopefully you are using them, and you're really good ways to group your talent pools. And what you can actually do, though, is once you've got those talent pools established there within your hot list, you can search within them. So instead of having to, run your search over and over again, hope the people pop up that are in that talent pool are your hot 100, your top 60, your fab 40. You can actually look specifically for the people that are in that top bracket for you, and then search the skills within it.
Lovely. Tip number 6 for us is searching by transferable skills. So sometimes job roles are hard to find. Clients often want to find, what do we say, purple unicorns or things like that. So sometimes, and if you've got these in your skills list, sometimes we need to think about potentially transferable skills instead. So those things like management skills, interpersonal skills, clerical communication skills, things like that. So that might be bearing in mind as well when you're doing your sourcing.
Finally then, how can we create some new candidates without actually adding anyone new to the database? The first one is look at your clients. So on Bullhorn, don't know if any of you have seen this or used it before, but within your contact records, if you go into the actions, you can actually very quickly convert them to a candidate. So I don't know if you're talking to a hiring manager you've got a good relationship with, they've mentioned before that actually they're thinking about going elsewhere, or perhaps they've been in their role for a while. That's a really good candidate, that's a potential really good candidate you've already got a relationship with, and then you could look to convert them. And that might be a candidate that no one else has either, because everyone else is looking at them as a client, not a candidate. So you're generating a new candidate from within the database already.
Fabulous. And looking at temp or perm as well. So we often see candidates in potentially those different camps. If you've got both of those, recruit both of those. but why not thinking about flipping them from one to the other? So maybe there's a potential that a perm candidate would potentially consider temporary work, and vice versa. Would a contract or a temporary candidate, if you've got a permanent role, consider that instead? So have a look at those when you're searching as well, as we are doing in the list in the background.
So any questions you've got around Bullhorn, more effective usage of it, training, how to weaponize it, how to get your data clean, and obviously automation, just drop me a line. But you'll be hearing from us anyway. We'll send you some stuff. Have a think about what your key takeaway is today. The goal of this webinar was not for you to attend, it's for you to do something with at least one of the items that we've shown you. So we'll be obviously really interested to hear how you get on. Be obviously aware again that learning isn't just about looking at something and going, oh, that's nice. It's actually about achieving something through it. You might need to rinse and repeat that a few times, but spend some time today practicing what we've shown you. We'll be getting the video from today ready on Monday morning, and then we'll be sending that link out to you for you to have a look. So it will be on the blog. And just a note to the wise, when you do read our blogs and there's a webinar link for a future webinar, I'm just very clever at using the same blog link. And when we've uploaded the video, that goes back into the blog, and we just change the blog very slightly. So if you ever sent a link about registering for a webinar, on the Monday, Tuesday, the following week, it will have the video recording in. So that's just something for you to bear in mind. We are also starting to draft more tips up now as well. So you'll start to see on our blog more ideas about sales and marketing, ideas around how to use Bullhorn more effectively, little 1-minute tasters and things like that. So keep your eyes peeled for those little mailers that come out to you. We're really keen to hear from you as to how you get on. We've obviously got a back catalogue of webinars as well. I'll send those through to you, but go to our blog. Choose the filter webinar. They're all listed, and you can watch them all on double speed with a pint of gin if that's what you would like to do. And obviously, just bear in mind from an automation perspective, we do a lot of work in that space. Again, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Automation is a damn sight cheaper than things like LinkedIn and job boards when you combine them and the time that you waste. Remember to sign up for a HIT trial. I'm on a mission to get every recruiter onto this platform, at least for free to begin with. We're really interested in your feedback, so be sure to sign up for a trial. And obviously, drop us a line if you need any help. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to do some work with you all if we're not working with you at the moment. Have a great end of the week, guys. Enjoy International Women's Day every day of the year, and Mother's Day every day of the year. And we'll catch up with you really soon. Take care.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.